Imagine a stone, heavy and inert, suddenly moving across the landscape on its own, leaving a trail behind. Yes, the sailing stones of Death Valley do exactly that. Nestled within the unforgiving terrain of Death Valley, these stones seem to possess an eerie ability to move without any human or animal intervention. They slide and sail across the parched desert floor, etching their journeys for all to see. A mystery that has baffled scientists and mystery lovers for decades, the sailing stones continue to move in silence. Over the years, many theories have tried to explain this strange phenomenon. Our first stop on this journey of theories takes us to the idea of magnetic forces. Some earlier theorists suggested that the high iron content in the stones combined with the Earth's magnetic field was responsible for their movement. It's a compelling concept, but it doesn't quite hold water. If this were the case, we'd expect to see similar phenomena all over the world, wherever there are iron-rich rocks. But the sailing stones are a unique spectacle of Death Valley. Next, we find ourselves in the realm of the extraterrestrial. Yes, you heard right, aliens. Some thought that these stones were moving markers, set in place by otherworldly beings. A fun theory to entertain, but without any tangible evidence of intergalactic interference, this idea was largely debunked. Then, there are those who believed in the power of the wind. They proposed that hurricane-level gusts were responsible for pushing these stones across the desert floor. However, the wind speeds required to move rocks of this size are far greater than any recorded in Death Valley. And, interestingly, not all stones move in the same direction or at the same time, which one would expect if wind were the primary mover. Even the notion of pranksters or artists creating an elaborate hoax was floated around, but the remoteness of the area and the sheer number of stones make this theory as unlikely as the rest. Each of these theories, while fascinating in their own right, failed to fully address all the characteristics of this phenomenon. They can't explain why the stones move only under certain conditions, why they leave behind such distinctive trails, or why some stones move while others remain stationary. Despite the creative approaches, none of these theories could definitively explain the sailing stones. Then came the ice shove hypothesis. This hypothesis is as intriguing as it sounds, and it brought a new perspective to the table. The ice shove hypothesis revolves around the concept that thin sheets of ice, coupled with certain weather conditions, could be the invisible force moving the stones. So, how does this work exactly? The hypothesis proposes that under the right conditions, thin panels of ice could form around the stones. Now, imagine a cold, frosty night in Death Valley. The temperature dips below freezing, and a light rain has just fallen. The water around the stones starts to freeze, encasing them in a thin sheet of ice. By morning, as the sun rises, the ice begins to melt, but not completely. A thin layer of ice remains, linking the stones to larger sheets of ice in the surrounding area. Now let's add in a little wind. The breeze sweeps across the desert, pushing the larger sheets of ice. Since the stones are connected to these sheets by the thin layer of ice, they too are moved. The stones then scrape along the desert floor, leaving behind the trails we see today. This theory is backed by the fact that sailing stones are often found with long, linear grooves behind them, suggesting a force acting in one direction. The ice shove hypothesis explains this, as the wind would push the ice, and therefore the stones, in a single direction. However, as plausible as this theory might seem, it didn't entirely fit the bill. Some stones were found to have moved when there was no rain or frost. Moreover, researchers pointed out that the necessary weather conditions for this hypothesis to take effect are extremely rare in Death Valley. The ice shove hypothesis seemed promising, but it wasn't the final answer. Finally, in 2014, the secret of the sailing stones was revealed. After years of speculation and countless theories, a team of researchers from NASA and the Scripps Institution of Oceanography cracked the code. The solution to this long-standing mystery didn't involve extraterrestrial forces or magnetic fields as some had suspected, but rather a combination of natural elements working in perfect harmony. The researchers embarked on a mission armed with time-lapse photography and GPS technology. They placed these devices on and around the stones, transforming the desolate Death Valley into a lively field of scientific exploration. For 2 years, they kept a close eye on the stones, patiently waiting for the elusive movement to occur. And then it happened. In the winter of 2014, the team observed the stones moving for the first time. The event was triggered by a rare combination of conditions. First, it rained, dampening the dry, cracked surface of the racetrack playa. As night fell, the temperature dropped, turning the thin layer of water into a sheet of ice. Come morning, the desert sun began to melt the ice, breaking it into large, thin, floating panels. On this fateful day, the wind was blowing just right, pushing these ice panels across the playa. The stones caught in the ice were dragged along, leaving behind the iconic trails. The team's findings concluded that it was this perfect combination of rain, wind, ice, and sun that could move the stones, some of which weighed as much as 700 pounds. This delicate balance of conditions, they realized, was the reason why the phenomenon was so rare and why it had remained a mystery for so long. So there you have it. A mystery that baffled scientists and captivated the imagination of millions for decades was finally solved. It's a powerful reminder of the intricate and delicate dance of natural forces at work around us. The sailing stones, it seems, were a puzzle waiting for technology to catch up. But does knowing the answer make the sailing stones any less fascinating? Let's take a moment to ponder upon this. Unsolved mysteries have a unique allure. They captivate our imagination, tease our curiosity, and challenge our understanding of the world. They are like puzzles waiting to be solved, enigmas that spark our interest and excitement. Even when a mystery is unraveled, it doesn't lose its charm. It merely transforms, like a caterpillar into a butterfly. The sailing stones of Death Valley, for instance, continue to mesmerize us, even now when we know the science behind their movement. Deciphering the mechanism of their journey hasn't made them any less intriguing. On the contrary, it has added a new layer to their enigma. We now look at these stones with a sense of awe and wonderment, marveling at the power of nature and the ingenuity of science. The stones serve as a reminder of the countless mysteries that still lie waiting to be solved. The numerous puzzles that the universe holds, the charm of the unknown is a powerful force. It's what drives us to explore, to learn, to innovate. It's what compels us to delve into the depths of the ocean, to reach for the stars, to unravel the secrets of our own DNA. So, does knowing the answer make the sailing stones any less fascinating? Absolutely not. Just like the stones themselves, the charm of the unknown keeps moving. So, what have we discovered about the sailing stones of Death Valley? We've certainly embarked on a fascinating journey into the realms of mystery and science. We began by delving into the enigma of the sailing stones, these peculiar rocks that seemingly defy the laws of physics by moving across the arid flats of Death Valley without any apparent external force. We revisited theories of the past, where speculation ran wild with ideas of magnetic fields, alien interference, and even the supernatural. But science, as it often does, sought to find a more grounded explanation. We then examined the ice shove hypothesis, a theory that was as chilling as it was intriguing. It proposed that under certain rare conditions, thin sheets of ice could form around the stones, and the power of the wind could then push these ice sheets, with the stones trapped within, across the desert floor. We finally arrived at the solved mystery of these wandering stones. Thanks to modern technology and the relentless pursuit of knowledge by dedicated researchers, the movement of the sailing stones was revealed to be a natural spectacle, an interplay of ice, wind, and sun. A marvel that can only occur under a very specific set of conditions, a testament to the intricate and delicate balance of our natural world. But in the course of this scientific exploration, we also revisited the charm of unsolved mysteries. We acknowledge that while the allure of the unknown may draw us in, it is the pursuit of understanding that truly captivates us. The sailing stones of Death Valley, once a baffling enigma, are now a symbol of the triumph of science over mystery. In the end, the sailing stones are a testament to the power of nature and the relentless pursuit of scientific truth. They remind us that even in the most inhospitable of environments, nature continues to surprise, to challenge, and to inspire.